how-to series with your host, Rat Rod Ray.
Okay, in today's how-to video, I'm going to show you how to put bucket seats into a car that used to have bench seats on a floor that has several different angles. As you can see here, this floor angles down, comes across. It's flat here, but it tapers back and it tapers down here. So what I use for this particular one, it has some brackets that come down with holes in it to mount the seat. So I'm going to take angle iron, square tubing. I'll put the seat into position or the height that I want it, and then I weld the square tubing to the angle iron, and that'll set the height for the seat. I put a level across the seat to make sure that the seat is level. As you can see here, here's one that I did, the driver's side. It has the square tubing welded to the brackets. And then what I'm going to do is I'll have metal that comes around the side, creating a box which will add more strength. Okay, so the next thing I did is I cut all my metal brackets at 3 inches. And you can do it 3, 4. I would recommend at least 3 because you got 1 inch tubing that gives you an inch on each side for some strength. So now what I need to do is take my tape and I need to measure across here and mark these at the center. And go ahead and take the drill press here and drill these out to 3/8 size holes on all 4 of these. That's where the bolts are going to bolt through to the floor, and then I'll have some fender washers that come up from underneath on the floor. You want to have a lot of strength here because in the event of an accident you want to make sure that everything holds together, so you're going to want some big washers underneath the floor, or for some plate for that matter. So we're going to go ahead and mark these here where I want to put my drill marks. Then I'll put them in the press, drill these out up to 3/8 hole. Those will be done. Okay, these are going to be my stanchions. I went ahead and drilled holes on both ends. These are going to get cut in half, and I'll figure out the height of the seat. These will be sitting up like this, and I'll weld those to the angle iron. I went ahead and drilled them through. I just have to take measurements on the back and the front and see what the height's going to be. I'll cut one and then cut the other one. So I just went ahead and drilled them all at once, get it all nice and done. And now to go to the seat and measure the height that I want the seat, the slope of the seat, and sideways in the body to match the driver's seat. Okay, so on this side of the seat, I went ahead and took some known measurements from my seat that's over here. And I know that I'm 8 3/4 inches to the floor, to the bead on the seat, and 7 inches on each side, 5 1/2 at the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brackets that I have here, and I've already cut my posts. So I'm going to take those, bolt them up, and get them into place. Okay, so here's my front mounts. As you can see here, it's got the angle iron and the upright tube welded into position. Same thing over here with this one. And I just took my measurement from my measuring tape and I measured the seat height from the seat over there to the same as over here. And then I took my level and laid it across here and made sure that everything was even. So next I'm going to go to the back and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so this is my post system that I have here. And this here shows you how simple this is, because this mounts to the floor and it doesn't matter what the angle is. You just clamp this where this needs to be, and this floats up and down. And then my seat happens to have 2 brackets come down with a hole, so I just slide a bolt right through there and that attaches all my hardware. Okay, so here's my part. It's all welded up, and it sits like this. This bolts to the floor and then this bolts to the seat. And through this system I was able to, no matter what the floor looks like, whether it's angled or straight or whatever, I was be able to use these brackets, mount to the floor, level the seat with a level, and then mount the seat where it needs to go. And then I'm going to make a surround that goes all the way around it to add more strength to the seat base. Okay, so here's my front mounts, and here's the back mounts. It's all mounted in, nice and solid. I'm going to make a piece that comes around here though, goes all the way around it. It'll make it look pretty cool since it's a gasser style setup. Okay, so what I did here in the front is I added this piece of metal across the front here to help strengthen all the pieces that you can see here on the front and also at the rear. I welded some tabs on the side here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a nice finished aluminum piece with lightning holes in the side to accent this side of the seat so that you don't see the hardware. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do that next. Okay, so I got my trusty cardboard template paper at a poster board here. And there's my brackets where I welded the pieces on, and I just took my paper and I cut me a template. So it's going to look like this. And it's going to bolt to the side here and here. And then I'm going to put lightning holes in the side of the aluminum panel. So I'll show you how we do that next. Okay, so here's my aluminum panel that I'm going to use and my paper templates. So basically I'm going to lay this thing out on here. And then I'm just going to cut this piece out after I draw with the Sharpie. Mark all this. Cut that piece out. Then I'm going to put some lightning holes in it. And then we'll get it bolted up. Okay, so here's my panels. I went ahead and took a hole saw and stepped it down with 3 different holes in each one of these panels, and these will fit right down here underneath the seat. Just like this. And that'll give that seat that classic gasser look from the 60s. So I'm going to go ahead and polish these a little bit, put them on my buffer, and see if I can make them shinier. Okay, here you can see the panel that I just put on, and it adds a lot of strength to the seat frame. So I'm going to put a piece on the other side also that'll make this thing really nice and solid. And the holes give it some racing effect. Okay, so the last thing I needed to do was box this in. So I used some rod that I had here and a piece of rebar. And I welded those to my brackets, which makes this thing a complete square. So now it's not going to go anywhere. It's nice and strong. It's still lightweight, and you can use it for race applications. This is the seat bracket base that I built for the A-100 van seats. So the van brackets come in here, and van seat brackets pop in. Hopefully this shows you how to put A-100 van seats on an A-body mopar. That's your Dart, Duster, Demon, Valiant, Barracudas. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out for new how-to videos.